Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me first and foremost apologize for coming quite late. It was due to the fact that today is our ESCO meeting. And usually we stay there till about 2, 3, 4. But because of the importance of what we are doing here today, and the respect and love that we have for the chief host, really, or the celebrant, and the interest we have in what he's doing, we thought we should break the meeting to come here, and as soon as we finish, we'll go back. So the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, forgive us for being late. And I'd like to first and foremost recognize my father, our father, who remains the icon to many of us in terms of professionalism, in terms of integrity, in terms of decency, and in terms of humility. Our one and only Ambassador Olusola Shano, the chairman of this occasion. Forgive me if I don't put OFR and all this, but for the purpose of today, let me say OFR. And in future, when I'm also introduced, I want you also to put, the moment you are putting OFR, CON, like our own father's honor there, you must put GOVOYO after my name. Yes. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I also want to extend my courtesies to our Chancellor, our VC rather, who is a friend of mine, a brother, an intellectual, Professor Isaac Adewale. My own father, the representative of the Olubadan of Ibadan land, who is the Otun Olubadan of Ibadan land. I hope by the grace of God, we also become Olubadan of Ibadan land. When all those before him will have spent their own time. Chief Omowale Kuye. The celebrant of today, where is he? Maybe I delay it until he comes back. I'll go on to others because he must hear some of these things. Let me quickly recognize our eminent fathers that are here. You know Ibadan, we are all related one way or the other. It's big, yet it is small when it comes to family relationships. And if you forgive me, there is a reflection on my glasses, so I may not see some of the people there, but let me just cover it up by saying our eminent fathers that are here. I recognize you all. All the professors that are here, starting from the eldest of them, as Professor Mabu Guje, who incidentally, professionally, intellectually, is a world-renowned urban and regional planner. Some of the things we are doing is not something we learned in school. We pick them up either through interactions and listening to him in many fora. But more importantly, We pick them up by living in Ibadan and by deciding that we must change the face of Oyo State. So I recognize you, sir. And Professor Bamiro is a friend of mine. He's a brother, and he's a man that I've interacted with, and I can confirm that he's a man of impeccable character. I also like to recognize our mothers that are here. Iyalode of Ibadan land. Mrs. I don't know whether ambassador is there. Let me just say, Chief Mrs. Solution. I know. I recognize you. My mother here also, Mrs. Adekola. I've not greeted all our mothers, neither have I mentioned all our fathers. But I know sometimes when you begin to mention you omit. So those that I omit, forgive me. But nevertheless, I like to recognize Chief Kolada Isi. Who is for me an epitome of class. Some people will wonder, the word epitome is not epitome. Most people always say epitome. It's not, it's epitome. So when I say, don't think I'm breaking English. Yes. I've seen Chief Aiku there. Good afternoon, sir. Prof, who is my uncle, very quiet, very humble. You will not even know that he's there. But he's an accomplished neurosurgeon. Or is it general surgeon? Okay, it's now general. I recognize you, sir. I like to recognize Chief Amo that is there. Ekason, sir, my uncle there. Chief Ogunshola, I like to recognize you. You've done very well with Punch. We don't know what you are doing now, but you've done very well there. And whatever you are doing, whatever we can do to support, please let us know. And I extend the same courtesies to my fathers here, Chief K.O. Latinji. Also, I have my father next to me here, Justice Retired Adekola. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all my uncles that are here and egbons and aunties, you wonder why I'm greeting, you know. There's a difference between those who are professors and those that are entrepreneurs. When you're a politician, you must recognize as many people as possible. Otherwise, you lose your voters. So, those in the front row, in the second row, I say good afternoon, sirs. In the middle row, and those behind them, and behind them, good day. And the last row there, they are mostly women at the back, men in front. I say good afternoon to all of you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I say good afternoon. For me, the celebrant must be commended for what he's doing. I've always seen him as an innovator, as a man that is very ingenuous. He's a trailblazer. He's an accomplished entrepreneur. He's a man of quality and style. I think it was Rose that once said, show me a man the way he dresses, and I can tell you what kind of man that man is. The man, when you see him, simply dressed but elegantly attired. And from that style, some of us recognized him, and we've always known him for quality. Chief Adebayo Akande. Those who succeed in life are those who have three major characteristics. They are very hardworking. They are very tenacious. They stick to what they believe in. You knock a door once, it doesn't open, you go back. You knock it again, you keep knocking. And you saw it when the daughter was talking. He kept saying, go back. Go and try it. And the daughter succeeded. So for me, above all, those who are good leaders are not those who take people to where they want to go. You can call them leaders, but those who take people to where they ought to be are the great leaders. You have, to me, you have exemplified leadership, great leadership, by bringing out and doing things that others did not think of doing. It may sound so simple, but simplicity is the beauty of life. And those who dare to go to where others do not go are those that should be commended all the time. Chief Akande, you have the courage to dare, and you have the courage to invest, and you have the courage to make University of Ibadan proud, and entirely Oyo State as well. It's a very laudable project that you've done here. You have epitomized the concept of PPP with institution. And this conforms with our own approach for rapid development of Oyo State. In fact, when you look at the pyramid of development of a state or a nation, you discover that just like you have the Maslow's hierarchy of needs for human beings, the states also have their own. The basic need of a state is peace and tranquility. And when we came in, we fought for that. We secured the peace. Oyo State is very peaceful today. But building on that peace, you must have, to my mind, just like anywhere else, food and shelter. In this area, we have started a lot of work to ensure that our farming population are given encouragement for mechanization. It has been confirmed that when you go to Asian countries, for every 100 hectares of farmland, there are about 2,400 tractors. When you come to developing countries like Nigeria, particularly in Oyo State, to every 10,000 hectares, you probably have 1 or 2 tractors. So those farmers that toil day and night, if you go to the farming society, you discover that many of them are inflicted with hernia and all sorts of diseases arising from toiling and using hoses and cutlasses. What we are saying is we should encourage mechanized farming. And this we are trying to do in Oyo State by buying minimum for the first leg of our encouragement strategy, 320 tractors to be distributed for only those farming population, which is now working, and people are crediting us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you see them from time to time passing notes to me. They are just telling me that the security situation in Oyo State is very good. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we didn't come here today to tell you what Oyo State government is doing. We are here to celebrate a man that has done us proud. And when you even look at the quality of the building, you will know that it's been done by somebody who has penchant for perfection. His radio station, his telecommunication outfit have all performed creditably. Today, there is nobody in Ibadan who wants to know what is going on in the environment that will not listen to Splash FM. Sometimes they may abuse us, sometimes they may be nice, but it also tells you that they are doing what they are supposed to do. Any radio station that only credits or commends the government every day, go and check. That's not a good radio station. Because we are not perfect. We are not supposed to be perfect. So at all times, sir, criticize us when it's necessary. Commend us when we have done well. Balance what you are doing. And the last time when I went for a function that was busy with everybody, and I saw the young man, Obilo, interviewing everybody, he came to me and said, "Oga, we want to talk to you." I said, "I don't want to talk to you." He said, "Well," I said, "You abused me last week. Now you want to talk to me today." But I think in the last couple of months, he has been espousing many of the good things we've been doing. Obilo, you can talk to me now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here because of Chief Akande. This university, the premier university, has given us, at least in Oyo State, the credibility of claiming that we are undoubtedly the intellectual capital of Nigeria. There is no professor of note, particularly in their 50s and 60s, that did not pass at one time or the other through Ibadan and the UI in Ibadan. In fact, it is undoubtedly the university in Nigeria. Many of us wanted to go there. We applied. But you know God, He has His ways. And once I said, when we first had an election and we went to court and we were not given, I told people that, during my campaigning, I've always said that if I will get there and I will not do well, please, God, don't let me get there. And people will say, you don't say that, you're a politician. Eventually, when we got there, and I called somebody, and before we got there, Nigerians generally, I've always said it, when you travel out, you see that in Europe, in America, they worship God, just like we do here. But they don't put everything on God. All the things that God said we should be doing, Nigerians will decide that God must do it for them. In other words, tẹ́ bá rẹ̀ ń tó rìn lọ́nbẹ̀ yẹn sìn tí òwò bí tó ń lọ tó forí gbógiri yẹn tó bá ń tó ń sunkún tó àwọn èèyàn kan á dé pé ó ní tọ́lọ́ ń fi ṣe. Ọlọ́run ò fi ṣe nǹkan kan. Ó ní owó bí tó ń lọ. So the point we are making is that most of the things we should do, we always put it on God. So I believe most sincerely that the Nigeria of today, we should work hard. Hard and hard and hard. What you are seeing today is the result of hard work. Ọlọ́run ṣe o, but the same God will not do it for you if you didn't come to visit the VC. If you didn't come to say, I want to do this, and if you didn't plan for it. Tebade will life. The God that we know is a God that rules the world by laws. The Christian said he worked for 6 days and the 7th day rested. Since that day, all the laws that God made for that 6 days rule the world. He doesn't wake up and switch on the moon or the sun. Ó ti sọ pé when there is morning time, the sun comes out. Tílẹ̀ bá ṣú, òṣùpá yọ. The Muslims will say, Kun fayakun, àṣẹ Ọlọ́run. The Christian will say, let there be light, and there was light. What I'm saying here is that those who work hard get the result. Àdúrà ò lè ń gbà, àdúrà ò ní nǹkan náà ń gbà. Ó depend lórí ẹni tó bá ṣe dáadáa. The day that you don't close your doors, àdúrà ò lè máa gbàǹjọ yẹn. The days that you close your doors or the thieves come and they are caught, àdúrà àti ẹ gbàǹjọ yẹn. So which means God is a balancing God. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I just thought every opportunity I have, I must throw some of these things in. Because people will sit down and say, Chief Akande ní luck. No, he worked for it. Let us all work for the progress and development of Oyo State. Let me end my speech by saying that, Chief Akande, with what you've done, you have left an indelible mark on the sand of time. I know, because what you've also done is to provide an enabling environment for education to thrive. And what is education? To me, is information. Information is education. Education is knowledge. And what is knowledge? Knowledge is skill acquisition, is ability to think, ability to earn a living, and ability to be a human being and to contribute to the society. And to me, the totality of it is that education is empowerment. What you have done today is to empower our people. And even it is known, many philosophers said it, you make a living by what you take, by what you get. You make life by what you give. You have given life, you have given encouragement, and you have contributed to the society. This challenge that you've given us, you've challenged the state, you have challenged many of us, you've challenged all our eminent personalities that are here. And I take cognizance of the advice you gave me, because I've listed about 6 names here. I'm going to send them letters before the end of the week. And most of our people here don't know when we are playing games. Politics is intrigue management. It's about games. It's like playing chess. And when I personally took the trouble to gubernatorially recognize all our elders here, all those elders they must expect our letters. So by the time I'm saying our father here, my uncle there, nothing is free. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I sit down, let me just say our technical university is named the Technical University Ibadan, Oyo State. It's not Oyo State Technical University. It's the Technical University Ibadan, Oyo State. What is the concept? What we are trying to do is to bridge the gap between classroom and industry. You know, it is to ensure that all those students who go to Ghana, who sometimes go to London and America, can have a good university in Oyo State. The same way that they started Ibadan, University of Ibadan, it still remains, unarguably to my mind, the best university in Nigeria. And like I said before, many of us applied. We didn't get in. God had his ways, and he has his ways. And like I said, the God that didn't allow me at that time, when I won, to govern, had his own plan. He knew that even if I had come in at that time, for one reason or the other, I might not have done well. Philosophically, I understand what I'm saying, but I don't want to politicize what I'm saying. But it cleared the way for me, and it made sure that those that can disturb me will not be able to disturb me. The same way, when I applied to go to UI, he knew that he wouldn't want me to be an undergraduate in UI. He made sure that I studied somewhere else. I came back, and by association, by interaction, I became a professor in UI. So that same God promoted me, and with my relationship with Professor Mabuguje, with Professor Bamiro, with Professor, nobody can tell me I'm not a professor. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me just end my speech by saying, once again on your behalf, we thank you, Chief Adebayo Akande. We are very proud of you, and forever we'll continue to pray for you. You've done us proud, and the challenge you've given us will make sure that we also come back and compete and encourage you to come and do one for us. Incidentally, we went to Texas 2 weeks ago. The director of administration and the registrar, the registrar, they are all arriving in Ibadan tomorrow to come and see our site. And what we've agreed with them is that there will be 2 years training in Nigeria, and there will be 2 years training in Texas. And any student of ours, graduating student, can have the certificate of the Technical University of Ibadan or Texas Technical University of Texas. And we are very proud of that. So all our fathers and uncles and mothers, we will look forward to working with you closely. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on your behalf, I thank you, thank you, thank you.